here from AnchorHaven.co.uk, and we are live with our August energy update. I generally don't do a lot of energy updates because I like to look at other people's and things like that. But I thought I'd do some cards. I'd do a collective card reading this morning and just kind of fill you guys in on what's going on with me here at AnchorHaven, what's going on with my healing journey, what we've got coming up in August and September at AnchorHaven and things like that. I've been doing some really cool podcasting lately. I've been collaborating, and on my channel I've just uploaded a new galactic support session with David Purcell. So David Purcell and I have done 6 galactic support series so far, and we're both talking about our personal journeys, our personal memories and recalls from the SSP. The one that we've just done, David was actually able to channel Hajamal, his Sasquatch guide, so I got to personally interact with a Bigfoot and get some questions answered for me personally, because I had a Bigfoot experience when I was small here in the UK, and it left me with a fear of the green man because, you know, at 5 years old I had no idea what it was, but there was a creature in the bushes that later on, whenever I saw that picture of the green man with leaves on his face, that kind of brought back that memory to me. So it was great to get a confirmation that yes, that was a forest person when I was young, and they understood that I'd be scared, but they were kind of there to protect me. And at the Full Disclosure Now conference recently, which was such a major event in our community, to shout out to Brian Seng and his team, Ada Farhat and everyone. So because I was watching on the live stream here from the UK, my energy was quite intertwined because these are my friends as well, and colleagues and comrades in the community. So the Bigfoot, the Sasquatch, actually connected into me when they were at the conference, and I got a visit from a female young Sasquatch who was curious about me and why my energy would be so intertwined when I wasn't present, that kind of thing. So it's really great. So David Purcell and I will be doing a lot more of the kind of elemental channeling together. So I'm looking forward to our next session. We generally record on Fridays, and we do it pre-recorded just in case anything comes up that, you know, because we're dealing with memories here, memories from the programs, from different projects and SSP type stuff. So we do pre-record it, and this is so that we're both just comfortable, so that we can just feel comfortable to chat and express whatever comes forward. And so I love doing these sessions with David Purcell, and he will be available towards the end of August to do some private sessions with people. And I'm in the UK, and so thanks for watching. I'm just doing an August energy update, and I'm going to do some cards in a second. But yeah, so I did a one-to-one with David Purcell, who is Cactus Smile 39, and he's going to be updating all his socials very, very soon. I've done some really great collaborations on my Mystical Wellness podcast, and then I was on the Typical Skeptic podcast recently. So yeah, I used to live in India, I used to live in Goa, and I used to live in South India as well, in Trivandrum. So hi, and I'm an AC, PIO. I was going to give a different acronym then, and or an OCI. So yeah, so we've got loads of things going on. So my healing journey, so I had my ankle surgery about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I'm in a full like half leg cast, so I can't walk around, I'm not mobile, I've got to keep my leg elevated as much as I can. So I had an ankle okay, and I am not mobile, so but there's still things to do. I've just got back from Glastonbury, so a little update about Glastonbury. I had an amazing time, absolutely amazing time in Glastonbury, where I got to do a day at Priestess Presence, and we were channeling, we were working with the energies of the Magdalene. We were bringing in that kind of sovereign energy. We were doing miracle priestess scent work. So I'm a scent priestess. This is something that's a remembrance that's come forward from Egyptian times, Atlantean times and things like that. So I am available for miracle work, which I'll be promoting back again towards the end of August and September when I'm more mobile. So I do send oil blessings, I do anointing, which of course would have to be in person. But if there's something going on in your life and you're really not sure what to do, where to go, what pathway is right for you, then this is the kind of work that I do, where we can step in together, create a sacred space together, and we can have a look at your mystical wellness pathway. and see what feels right for you. We can try lots of different avenues. We can talk about lots of different things. I can bring in lots of different energies and cards and things like that to do some deep healing. And if you wanted to work with me in person, then yes, I do anointing. So I work with sacred oils as a gateway. And in the anointing process, which doesn't have to be full body anointing, generally I will be anointing like the higher chakras, the palms, the arms, and things like that. So you don't have to strip down to be anointed by a priestess, although full body work would be amazing. But we work with anointing oils, and I work with sound as well at the same time. I also work with light language when I do anointing, so it just allows you to be fully held and supported. So end of August to September, I'll be getting back into my priestess work, and I will be sorting out my wellness studio that's here in my home as well, my wellness room here. At the moment, it's just full of so much stuff, because I closed down my big mystical wellness studio last year, and then I had an AnchorHaven clinic for people who still wanted to work with me directly. But I've closed that down. So now I'm available for online work, and I'm just trying to get back into it because I only had my surgery quite recently. My mind is a little bit scattered. So this is the first live I've done for a while, coming on talking about my services and how you can find me, how you can work with me. But I am available. I have cancelled a couple of my events coming up, and I've shifted some dates. So my retreat, my Wales retreat, which was like the Avalon event, we've actually moved it to March 2026. We have a beautiful villa booked in Barmouth in Wales, and I call in the energies of Lady of the Lake. I call in Master Merlin. And when it comes to kind of King Arthur energies, an aspect of me was Sir Galahad, apparently, the noblest knight of them all, the most honourable. And on Typical Skeptic podcast last night, I don't know what that means. Put your hand on the camera. I don't know what that means. So, and the Misha Johnson, the most amazing Misha Johnson from starseedawakening.org was on, and she channeled an Arcturian guide for me. And this Arcturian guide, if you guys are following along with the podcast, keeps coming in and stepping closer and closer and closer. So the Arcturian aspect of me is coming in quite deeply, bringing in this sapphire blue starlight, which is merging with my violet flames. I'm a violet flame keeper, and it's creating some kind of new flame, a flame of truth, a flame of justice as well, a flame of deep transformational healing. So I've got that going on. So I've got my Arcturian work coming through right now, quite strongly as well. So I'm developing a new modality that I will be sharing with you guys in September. I'll be doing a short course on it, I think, so that we can really anchor in these new energies. Okay, I'm just going to do some cards so we can have a look at the collective energies for August. And the channels for Saint Germain have basically been, Saint Germain has been saying that we're going to find a new way of working. Basically, we're going to find a new way of doing everything in August. People are going to start to question more. There's going to be like a paradigm shift. People are going to be questioning, why have we always done it this way? That doesn't make any sense. Why would we always do it this way? And so what Saint Germain is basically saying is that you're questioning, you're moving into your authentic self, you're accessing your authentic throat chakra more to question what is true to you. So Saint Germain is coming forward to say you'll find new ways of working, and you'll be looking at things now and thinking, that just doesn't make any sense anymore. Why did I always allow myself to do things that way? Why did I always listen to that person and, and not really allow myself to be true? So when I work with the Akashic cards, often it's the unconscious projections card that comes forward. And this is people putting their ways of working onto you. These core beliefs that when we were children, you were always told, yes, just do this one more time. Yes, of course you like that food, and things like that. And these old core beliefs are things have always been done around you. People have always said things a certain way. They've always done things a certain way. And it's become a set core belief in your energetic field. Now is the time in August when we're letting these core beliefs crumble away, and you are taking your stand more to find out, hang on, this is what's true to me. I'm creating my own core belief system. So we've got the opportunity to have a look in each of the chakras and see what memories are there. Hi, Spidey. And see what old memories you're holding in your chakras to think, does that make sense anymore? No. So we're going to crumble away, use the violet flame to burn away these old core beliefs that are not true to you anymore. And in August, we're setting some new belief systems, okay? So these are the spell casting deck. I'm just going to pull 3 cards to see collectively what we're doing well, what do we need support with in August, and a message as we move forward. And let's see what we're getting here. So what everybody is doing well is we're moving into financial health. So financial health for you could be the way you think about money. It might be that you still got 0 in your bank, but the way we look and approach our money system is changing. So this is financial health. And when you look at these, there's roots there, there's foundations, it's going all the way up into your mind. So your financial thoughts, your financial health is your full body system. Everything you see, feel, sense, know, and do. Your financial health. So this is coming in as something that we're doing well. Our guide teams want to basically congratulate us for staying positive, staying focused, staying an abundant being of light. Yeah, so this is what we're doing well. Collectively, what we need support with is our dream time. Okay, interesting. So a lot of people are starting to realize that when you're in your dreams, you're in another world. Some people think it's the real world and that this is the fake projection. But paying attention to what's going on in our dreams is going to give you more strength and more clarity. I've just woken up from a really weird dream where I felt like it was about 3 weeks, and it probably was. So I was probably doing a lot in that dream. So start to notice how you look, how you feel in your dreams, what you're doing, what special abilities you've got, who you're talking to, what kind of resonance is there in your dreams. Start to write it all down. This is so important. Yeah, this is so important because there's a merging of your spiritual gifts that you use in this reality and the spiritual gifts that you use in the other reality. And a lot of the times that's where we've got the most strength, because we don't have the same kind of fear in that other reality. Okay, so let's pay attention to our dreams. I need to do this a lot. I'm rubbish at it. I'm really rubbish at recording my dreams. So let's do this together, and I'll try and check in on everybody. So a message as we go forward. Here we go. Yep. So we've got new beginnings coming in. We're in the Lammas Gateway right now. We're in the Pagan Harvest Festival. So this is a fantastic time. Like I was doing in my group last night with my ladies, this is a fantastic time to take stock of everything that you feel grateful for. So this is a prosperity card. So the messages coming forward from my guide team is about new beginnings and feeling prosperous. So what we were doing last night on the AnchorHaven Saturday group was we were tuning into that golden energy from the Grand Central Sun. We were tuning into the energy of gold, that abundant frequency of money, of wealth, of prosperity. And we were taking a look at all the things in our lives that we're grateful for. So even though I'm not mobile right now, I've had foot and ankle surgery and I literally have to hop around everywhere, I still managed to go away to Glastonbury with 4 friends who took great care of me. I went to the Chalice Well, I refreshed my energies in the sacred spring there, and I made so much contact with elemental beings while I was there. I could just feel energy moving up and down through my body as elementals were coming in to heal me, and to heal much more than just my foot as well. So if you guys have been watching The Typical Skeptic and you've been watching my Mystical Wellness podcast, you know that I've had a lot of healing going on this year. Huge amounts of healing and upgrades have been going through my system. I can quite literally say I am not the person today that I was 6 months ago or a year ago or 2 years. I'm just not. I'm a very different person. Yeah. So prosperity. So this is the Lammas, the Lunar Pagan Festival. And this is when we honor those really first essence of things that we're harvesting. Perfect. So you've got more things to be grateful for than not. That's amazing. So even though, you know, you might think, well, what have I got to be grateful for? Well, you're waking up. Not everybody gets to wake up. You know, you've got shelter, you've got a warm place to be, you've got people around you, hopefully, that support you, or you know that just a short reach away, we are international here on YouTube, which is amazing. So my soul tribe, just like Spidey, we're across the globe. I'm here in the UK right now, and there's not that many people in the UK that I resonate with. I've got my AnchorHaven tribe, I've got my kind of people that support me at AnchorHaven, and then I've got the USA, and I've got some Australia, and I've got some people in Europe, and that's my soul tribe. And we've been scattered for a reason. We've been scattered because we're so powerful. Our truth is so powerful that when we get together, amazing things happen. So of course we've been scattered across the globe. Of course we might even be in the same country, but we keep missing each other because we're so powerful, yeah? So when we start to connect across time and space, we're doing it in the astral every night, or when we do meditation, we're connecting all the time, but we're finding each other across these podcasts now, and we're coming together. So if you guys wanted to be a guest on my Mystical Wellness podcast, please let me know. I do record on Mondays and Wednesdays, which is 8 p.m. UK, which is like 3 p.m. Eastern. 1 second, let me just cough. I'm still trying to get used to coming back. I've literally been in meditation for like 3 weeks to try and heal my foot, and yeah, not good. So the overall message coming forward right now is prosperity and new beginnings, which is perfect. I'm just going to check the Akashic field and see. So I work with the Akashic Oracle. These cards are by Marina Beach, the Soul Alchemist. And Marina's based here in the UK. She's actually not that far from me. And I've been working in the Akashic Records for about 4 or 5 years now. And I generally take people through their personal records. We're looking at the energy. We're not looking to see kind of who you were 40 lifetimes ago, but we can do that. But what I generally focus on the energy from the past that's affecting the present. So tuning into our collective records here for August to have a look and see if there's any energy that needs clearing, there's any energy that we need to focus on, which is like moving forward, and anything that needs to be made a bit more successful. I can bring in a success anchor. So just tuning into the Akashic Records Keeper Guides for collective energies, who anybody might be watching live or on the replay. What's our message, please? What do we need support with? And moving forward. So when I work with people one-on-one, I use the cards so I don't need to go into meditation. The cards are like a shortcut to just allow me to access your Akashic energy. Oh dear. So we've got self-sabotage coming in. Self-sabotage. This is probably one of my least favorite cards because it comes up for me quite a lot. And when I was in Priestess Temple last weekend in Glastonbury, or this, you know, on Monday in Glastonbury, this was the main thing that I was ready to lay down. I was ready to lay it down. I was ready to just offer it out and say, I surrender any energies, cords, contracts, lessons that are related to self-sabotage. I fully surrender it to the goddess or whoever. I surrender and I release this. And my energy kind of expanded as soon as I did that consciously, and I allowed myself to release it through all bodies, all levels and layers of light, all fields, all grids, all universes, all eternities, all forevers. I release self-sabotage. But collectively, this is still a big energy that's coming forward for everybody. So how is your time being manipulated? How are you being distracted? So is it an outside influence or is it an internal influence? So it could be that there's a part of you that's trying to distract you from something bigger. It could be old programming or something coming in. But have a think about, how are you self-sabotaging your life right now? So this is something that we're working to clear. Okay. A past life card is coming forward to remind everybody, especially this month, that this is an amazing portal for you to tune into, all of you. Yeah, every essence of you, every lifetime, every parallel life in universe, you have got skills and lessons that are ready to come forward. So set your intention, right, to connect into all different versions of you, to bring forward your best, your brightest gifts, to anchor into this timeline, into this reality. Okay, moving forward. Okay. This is really good. So we've got self-confidence. So we're moving from self-sabotage. In August, we're moving into self-confidence, into this golden light gateway. So in our meditation last night, we were bringing in this golden light from the grand central sun or from source. We were anchoring it through our body. We were expanding out our roots to make them really gold thick strands to anchor that into the earth. And then we took a walk through the wheat fields, the golden wheat fields. We touched that golden energy. We breathed in that essence of prosperity. So we rebuilt our confidence in the solar plexus. Yeah, so your solar plexus probably needs a bit of an upgrade, because I know mine did, and mine was literally replaced recently by David Starr and Phil Barrow on that podcast. I woke up the next day and I just knew that they'd replaced that part of this body. And yeah, that's a thing. We come in with spare parts, but we sometimes forget that we can replace the solar plexus and other things as well. So I had a massive upgrade in my solar. Not that I'm short on self-confidence. I've literally been trained to talk for 4 to 6 hours straight as for other jobs that I did in the past, but self-confidence is coming in. So if you're feeling really low and you're thinking, my self-worth, deservability, why me, who would listen to me, who would watch me, I've got no friends, or whatever it is, just know that you have many reasons to be confident. Yeah, there's so many things about you that you don't even know. There's people in your life that you walk into the room and you light up those people, and they might not tell you that. Yeah, there's people in my life that as soon as I see that person, I just instantly get a massive smile on my face. And there's just something about their energy that touches my heart, and I feel amazing around that person. And that's just them shining their light. So you do this for others as well. So be confident that if things are difficult right now, it's not forever. Be confident that there's a whole world of possibilities available for you. You just need to claim it. You need to stand in your golden light, shine it out there so your confidence is building. Getting out in nature is obviously a main key to us getting back into balance. Being out in the sun is really important because we can call in upgrades and healing and light codes from the sun. Okay, so you know, when you go out in the sun, you feel great. Yeah, when you get by the water and you've got that sea or whatever coming in the wind, you feel good because you're connecting with elemental energies. Yeah, so try and do that more if you can. It's important. Okay, the next card we've got here is strengthening boundaries. Now on the podcast last night on Typical Skeptic, Misha Johnston was talking about portals, and last weekend someone else was talking about portals in my home, and I'm thinking, oh my god, so I'm getting all these portals opening my home that I'm not aware of because there's other things going on that are not in my kind of like awareness right now. So what I'm going to be doing today is I do home cleanses for everybody else, and my guides keep saying you need to cleanse your home, you need to cleanse your home. So today I'm literally just going to be hunting for portals, doing some grid work on my home for strengthening boundaries. So this could be what you're doing, what you're saying, and how you're being. Okay, strengthening your boundaries and honoring your boundaries is very important. If you don't communicate your boundaries, nobody will know. Yeah, and if you don't say, hang on, this is what I accept, this is what I won't, people will never know. And we get frustrated and we get angry at people for not honoring our boundaries, but we haven't fully communicated them. So have a think about August, have a think about your boundaries. Are they clear? Are they communicated? Do they need to be redefined? Have a think about your aura. Your auric field is kind of your first boundary. Is it stretched out and mixing with everybody else's? Or can you call it in tight around you? Does it have holes? Does it need to be repaired? Can we call in some energy to do that? Yeah, can we call in the violet flame to release some debris from your auric field and things like that? So this month is all about new beginnings, prosperity, boundaries, and rebuilding your self-confidence. Yeah, so that's this month. I'm just going to pull, I've got this new deck and I've had it for ages, to be honest, but I'm going to be working with it on a podcast next week. And this is the Archangel Animal deck. And although I do spirit animal kind of shamanic work, this deck is a little bit weird, and it talks about animals being from outer space, so of course I love it. And there's mentions to archangels, but she doesn't give you the information about these random archangels, so I've got to then go and find the information. So please can I have 3 animals that would like to come forward to support my collective? Okay, so these are new cards. I don't know all the information on these cards. Oh, interesting. The first one we've got is the cat. And it says, be relaxed and independent, Archangel Raphael. So, yeah, so we've got the cat. So have a think about the cat's medicine. What do cats do? Not much at all. They take things too easy. But it doesn't mean that they're not seeing or hearing absolutely everything that's going on. Yeah, so cats are fully aware. They're very sovereign. They're very dominant at times. My cat, who passed away this year, had the spirit of a black panther, and he was an absolute. He used to fly at me and give me black eyes and things like that. But that's because in another lifetime he was my Black Panther, apparently. So have a think about the cat. Be relaxed and independent. So other people bringing their points of view to you, that's all they are. They're just interesting points of view. You do not need to accept them or reject them. So when you get into a situation where somebody's forcing an opinion on you, have a think. What would the cat do right now? He'd probably just look disinterested and walk away. So we've got cat energy coming in for August, saying relax and be independent. So, yeah, my cat was savage. He was, yeah. Ah, Spike, we've got a kangaroo. So we've got kangaroo spirit energy. So have a think about how kangaroos act, what they do, what their attitude is, what medicine they can share with you. And it says, be a force for good. So there's so much power in the kangaroo. They're, you know, how much they can propel themselves. They're such strong creatures. Although when I was in Australia for a year and we went to the kangaroo sanctuary or zoo that's near Brisbane, I was really disappointed because this poor kangaroo looked like he was on his last legs. He really did. And he was just covered in flies. And you're just looking at him and you felt so sorry for this poor creature. And I was like 2 feet away from him. It wasn't even like he was in a cage or anything, but he just couldn't be bothered. His life was just so shit. So I know kangaroos, you guys, Aussies will tell me, kangaroos in the wild can be menaces. They'll jump into your cars and things like that. But we want to focus on the positive aspect. Yeah. We want to, of the kangaroo. So what kind of spirit do they have? What are they trying to teach us? You know, they leap high. They take these leaps of faith. Yeah, they've got these strong, grounded legs. They've got that tail that keeps them grounded. So thinking about what would a kangaroo do? How grounded would they be this month? Yeah, when an opportunity came, would they leap towards it? Whatever. So have a think about kangaroo spirit. I've not worked with kangaroo spirit before, but it says be a force for good. So this is a force. Your energy is forceful. It's powerful. Okay. The other one we've got is the bear. Oh, okay. So we've got the mother bear, nurturing energy. Now, there's nothing fiercer than a mother that's protecting her children. And this is the energy of the bear. Giant rats. Kangaroos. No, no. Use power with wisdom. So we've got archangels Uriel and Jophiel, and I know I'm not great at my archangels. Hi Melody, but I know Jophiel is all about joy. So when we think about bear spirit animal and we think about how, you know, they like to forage, they like to sleep, they like to rest, and maybe, I mean, all I'm doing is resting because after this surgery, that's all I'm doing. I'm going into full hibernation. So are you resting like the bear? Are you hibernating? Are you getting everything that you need? Yeah, do you need more support around you? And the bear is always mothering everybody else, but who's taking care of you? Mama bear, yeah. So let's be the mama bear. I've just got a flush of energy then when you said that. So let's be the mama bear this month, yeah? Let's really start to think, okay, do I have everything I need? Can I sit tight and hibernate and let myself rest and reset in August? Or, you know, you need to use my power with wisdom? So whatever's coming forward, just take a moment and think, what would the bird do right now? Well, they probably be using their inner wisdom, their ancient connections to the elementals and things like that. So pretty weird animals coming forward, but be a force for good, use power with wisdom, and be relaxed and independent this month. So I love cat energy. I don't have a cat anymore. She's the middle pillar, ask Goldilocks, yeah. So these are great animal spirits to work with. So shamanically, when we work with animal spirit guides, we're looking at their medicine. So how do they behave? How do they move? What sounds do they make? Yeah. I mean, we know the cat is doing that purring and it's that beautiful healing purr that it does. I have no idea what sound a kangaroo makes. So, but let's have a think about that. And then we've got the bear, you know, what kind of noises do they make? They stand up strong, yeah? You know, they can make themselves heard when they need to be. So are you in a situation in August where you need to step into that mama bear energy? Do you need to be that fierce protector? Or can you just take a step back and relax and observe everything and use that wisdom that you've been building up? So that's quite interesting. So I'm going to be working with these cards on a podcast this Friday. And I just think it's fun. Tick, tick, what's up, Skip? Okay. So yeah. So interesting. So August energy, we've got a lot of fresh start energy. We've got a lot of prosperity. So we're in the 8-8 portal right now. On the 8-8 portal, I'm going to be live on Typical Skeptic podcast. And the theme that I've set is harmonize your heart. This is an important course correction. This point of the year is an important reset. So if you're not where you want to be, please come and watch the podcast. It's going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern. I am going to be with the wizard Phil Barrow because he does really amazing healings. And I'm not in a position where I can offer that much healing to others right now because I'm healing from my ankle surgery, which was pretty major. And yeah, so we're going to be doing a bit of a course correction, a bit of a reset, dropping people back into the heart. I might even introduce some drumming and breath work. We will see. So this is a really important part of the year. So we're on, was it the 3rd of August right now? It's 12:43 here in the UK. So this year has gone so fast, absolutely so fast. Time has been messed with. We want to take charge of the rest of the year. So setting your goals, 3 years, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days, let's set 3 hours, let's set our goals and get crystal clear about what we want to do. So I will be sharing crystal healing on Friday, but I'm not going to be doing any active healing myself. I'll just be allowing you guys to pick up on the ethereal crystal energy. I can share that with you guys easily. I can send the violet flame. I can call on my guides to do that. So you need to go watch Skippy the Bush Kangaroo. I'm in the UK. We grew up on Australian TV. You have no idea. Oh my God, I grew up on Neighbours and Home and Away. We grew up on all Aussie TV here in the UK in the 70s and 80s. It was absolutely insane. I'm surprised we didn't even have Australian accents, to be honest. So when I went to Australia to do like a year working holiday, and I saw that they were watching English TV, I was just really disappointed. I'm very Americanized as well, so I love watching American stuff. And but yeah, we've watched Skippy the Bush Kangaroo. What's that, Skippy? What's that? Yeah, we've watched all that here. And we're very Aussie out here in the UK. So Kylie Minogue and all that, when I was growing up, I'm 1975, so I'm Gen X. So for me, that was like my Neighbours and Home and Away was my high school years. And so that was my influence there. But you had Pommy TV shows. Yeah, what's that about? So I did a year in Australia and I started in Brisbane. I worked in the bush. I worked with conservation volunteers for 6 weeks. So I always think of Brisbane a bit like my hometown. And we went all the way up to Australia Zoo. And we worked in the bush all the way down to Sydney area. And there's a video actually that I did with Sean Bond quite recently. I'm just going to put my fan on. And we look at we do some grid work and I talk about me being in Australia and a weird experience I had in a particular area near Sydney. Because I'm a weirdo, you know, I've had so many weird experiences. So me and Sean Bond were tuning into the map of Australia and locating potential clones and ET government bases and all this kind of stuff. So that's on my channel and it was a really good video, by the way. We did a lot of healing for me. But yeah, so I went to Australia for a year when I was about 25 and it was my first real trip abroad. It was the start of my 20-year traveling and I didn't come back to the UK for such a long time. I didn't ever plan to come back to the UK. I hate it here. And I'd rather be anywhere but here. And I'm ready to travel now because I've been here 10 years. And the travel card literally came up. I was putting these cards away last night and there was one left on the floor and it was travel. So I'm a traveller at heart. So I went to Sydney, I flew across to Perth, I did a crappy door knocking job there for a while, and then I moved inland into kind of the wheat belt, working country pubs for a while. Then I met a friend, we bought a camper van, I went down from Perth all the way down, all across the Nullarbor, all the way to Tasmania. So I've done a lot in Australia. I worked in internet cafes, I worked in a meatworks in Adelaide, which was probably one of the coolest jobs I've ever had, unfortunately. I did grape picking, I did a bit of everything. And so I had a full proper kind of Aussie experience, and my boyfriend was really ochre Australian. So yeah, Rob Australia, oh, proper ochre. And we had a VW combi. So I loved my time in Australia, but because it was at the very start of my travelling journey, there was no culture shock for me hardly, because I'd grown up, neighbours and all that. And so I longed for something a bit more different. So I went to New Zealand after that for about 6 months. I was working in a backpackers, living in Nelson, like the geographical centre of New Zealand. I almost stayed, I almost got a job, but again, the culture shock wasn't there. It was just too British. They're watching Coronation Street. They're watching Emmerdale Farm and stuff like that. And I didn't watch that in the UK. I'm not going to watch that in bloody New Zealand and Australia. So then I got a job in India. So I went to India and I lived in India for more than 10 years. I met my husband, or my then husband, within a couple of days of arriving. As you do. But because I needed visas for India, I used to travel every 6 months or sometimes every 3 months to go and get a visa from Thailand or Singapore or Malaysia, or Sri Lanka. So I travel back and forth. So I lived in India for a really long time, very, very low budget. I'm a low budget traveler, so I see it as a challenge. It's a challenge. Living in India on like $50 a month. I can do that. So unfortunately I can do that. And yeah, so I'm bush kangaroo, yeah, know all about it. Yeah, and they are a menace as well. You know, but what surprised me, the only thing that really surprised me when I was traveling the Nullarbor was the camels. That surprised me. The camels, and you see them in the distance, and that was amazing. But when I was working in the wheat belt, there was a guy who had a farm, and he had like 1 million acres in the middle of Australia, and one of my friends went to work on his like estate out there, but I didn't, luckily, because it's just too isolated. But he had a house near where we were. Can't think where we were. It's escaped me. It escapes me. But he used to bring back camel. And yeah, and because they'd have a refrigerated truck, so if there was a camel dead on his property, he would try and catch it as soon, or they'd probably kill them, wouldn't they? Put them in their refrigerated truck, bring them back and do the work on it, and then we'd have barbecues. And camel meat, like massive camel meat. It's all right, actually. We ordered a round of sandwiches in New Zealand. The man in the shop said they don't sell round sandwiches. That's really funny. That's really funny. They import camels to Dubai now, do they? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, export to Dubai. Yeah, yeah. Because they were all brought over, weren't they, years and years ago when they were exploring the land, and they thought camels would be the best for that terrain. I know that. I actually lived on Kangaroo Island for a couple of weeks, and that was an interesting experience. I still know one of the beaches there in my mind. I still visit it quite often. But I got mice in my camper van, and I really don't like it. And because I had a VW combi, which is like got a hollow frame, it's like dip galvanized, the mice got into the hollow frame and I could hear them scurrying around, and it absolutely freaked me out, and I just couldn't. And my friend that I was traveling with just thought I was such a wuss. I am a wuss. And but I did the fishing and everything while I was out there. We used to catch crabs, we used to live off that. My friend even caught a stingray once, which was not good, but by accident. Wasn't, obviously didn't mean to. So yeah, so I've done my time in Australia. Would I go back there now? Yes, I would. My sister almost moved out there. We used to have a plan. This is like 15 years or 20 years back. We had this 5-year plan that we were going to move to Australia. We were going to move probably to Perth side, although I do prefer to be in South Australia because the weather's a bit better for me, not too hot, not too cold. And we were going to open up a wellness centre called Stress Less. Of course that didn't happen. Yeah. So but yeah, I've travelled all over Asia, and I still haven't yet travelled to America, because when I was looking at where I should travel when I left the UK with no plans to ever return at the time, I thought if I go to America I'm never going to leave, because I'm so Americanized and I'm going to love it out there so much. And if I go to South America I'm probably never going to leave, because I'm really cool to Peru and Mexico and all things like that. So I ended up picking Australia because it wasn't too harsh like China or whatever. And then I got settled in India for such a long time. So I was an Indian wife. My son was born in India, So technically I'm an overseas citizen of India. Just a family card has just come out. That's so weird. So we're all family, we're all connected across the globe. We've all been split and severed from each other so that we can find each other again. And travel card has just come out. Yes. So deep down, I am a traveler. I am a traveler at heart, but I didn't start traveling properly till I was like 20 something. And then 25, I left the UK, and I did not ever plan to return. Unfortunately, other forces were at work to make me come back here. And I get it now. I get why I'm here. It doesn't mean I like it here. I don't like it here. Wherever I go, the UK is always the hardest place to live. And that sounds weird, right? But it's like the direct debits, always money's coming out of your bank at weird times. You never have any money. Everything's so expensive here. And one of my friends years ago said to me, well, that's the price you pay for living in a good country. But it's nothing good about the UK. Not that you shouldn't come here. Of course, come here. Or I'll come and meet you guys. So I am hoping to travel this year and next year. Next year I will be going to America to the Full Disclosure Now conference in July. I'd love to go to Mexico this year though, if I could, or next year, to meet with Sean Bon. But on his Mexico trips and visit sacred sites. You know what I didn't do in Australia though was I didn't do the Northern Territory, and I haven't been to Ayers Rock, I haven't been to Uluru. Well, I've been there energetically, but I've not been there physically in person. So that I've still got that to do. I've still got the Northern to do. Where are you, Spidey? Sorry, I forget. Can I speak other languages? In the UK, we basically learn French and Spanish, so I've got very basic French and Spanish. When I was living in India, I did have not so bad Hindi, because my husband speaks Hindi, and I was teaching my son a bit of Hindi when he was small, but it's rubbish. It's not very good. And what else can I speak? Wherever I go, I try and learn some of the language, but I'm not the best. When I visited Hungary to see a friend of mine and one of my sisters, my sister Pauline, we love to learn the language, right? So we were trying to learn the language. We spent like 6 weeks before we went to learn basic Hungarian. And then I went into a restaurant, which was like a buffet restaurant, Chinese, of course, because I love Chinese. And afterwards I was like looking for the bathroom, where can I wash my hands? But I said, where can I take a bath in Hungarian? So now I'm a bit more cautious about, because when I spoke to my friend, she said, you said what? Like, where can I go and have a shower? You're in a restaurant, where can I have a shower? Like, it's just really bizarre. So I have to be more careful. I'm going to be learning German soon, because my nephew is marrying a beautiful German lady, and hopefully we'll be having a wedding in Germany next year. So I've got to start learning German. You're in northeast Victoria at the base of the Snowy Mountains. Wow, New South Wales border, amazing. That sounds amazing. Yeah, I'd love to come and see you guys. Yeah. Yeah. At the moment, I don't have money to go to the corner shop. Never mind money to travel. So yeah, really don't. Let's pull a card. Let's have an abundance card on that. Let's see. So if anyone has any questions and you want me to pull a card on that for you, just pop it in the chat and let's see. And I'm very unmotivated at the moment, so me coming on here is a really big deal right now. I generally do Facebook Live, but Facebook energy is so bad. And then StreamYard took £25 out my bank, and then when I log into StreamYard, I'm still on the free version. So that's why I'm live on YouTube directly, because StreamYard won't let me do multi-live. So, but yeah. So is there anything coming up that we need to be made aware of, please? Manifestations, in the manifestation portal right now. And this is one of my favorite goddesses. However, the author who created this deck said it's not Ellen of the Ways, but I'm sorry, that's Ellen of the Ways. That's the deer horned goddess. And Ellen of the Ways is the kind of primordial goddess of the land here. So she's one of those type of original goddesses who could, you know, crown kings and queens of the land. She would need to be kind of approving for somebody. So King Charles, I don't think she'd ever crown him, but yeah, it's a manifestation. So a card for Spider Bite. So I'm just working with the spell casting, because these are just, you know, lovely positive energies. It's a nice card. Can we have 3 cards, please? Can we have what Spidey's doing well? What needs support with? Oh, 2 cards jumped out there. And a message to move forward. Okay, so the first card that we've got coming out for you is forgiveness. So this is a great time to do that forgiveness work. And when I work with forgiveness, I actually work with the energy of receiving. So it is a very abundant energy to work with. I know that sounds a bit weird. But for me, I generally tell people to work with the Ho'oponopono, the Hawaiian forgiveness technique. And just do that like a mantra. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. And I see this as a quantum command to the universe. It's not that you are admitting that you're wrong or anything like that. You're just saying to the universe, it's time. It's time for forgiveness energies to be spread across the land, for us to move into that energy of receiving, please. Yeah, so it's like an acknowledgement of how far you've come and that you're ready to move into this next phase of your life. So forgiveness energy, and tuning into the elementals as well to help you. Yeah. The next one, what you need support with, I got two things. I've got peace. You need some help to move into, it's like a gentle strength. Okay, because we've got peace and strength coming out together. So this could be you making your moves in silence. I'm getting quite a confirmation on that. So there's other people who may be watching you, they may be second guessing you, they may be trying to gaslight you, and this is saying you're so much stronger than you know. I actually feel like she's got a cornucopia there, so you've got so much, you can't really see it, but that's how I feel when I look at that picture. But I think she's holding a bird. She's holding a chicken. So, but you've got all these amazing energies, all these amazing strengths that you need to tune into. But rather than doing this forced show of strength, your guides are asking you to be very peaceful, very calm in your strength. Yeah, to be very grounded as you move into this next phase, and know how strong and powerful you are. But you are very gently communicating this with others. Yeah, you don't need to really like stamp your feet or shout. It's these quiet chess game moves that you make, yeah, that are going to help you as you move forward. So we have got two cards coming out. As you're moving forward into August and September, you're moving into your truth and your authentic self energy, and as you do that more and you get more confident expressing who you truly are, allowing people to see another side of you perhaps that you've been holding back a little bit, you move into that financial health. Yeah, you move into that financial abundance is coming your way because you're being more true to who you are. So it's allowing that energy to come forward with ease, with joy, with prosperity and abundance. So this next stage, this next 4 to 6 weeks is very flourishing for you. Yeah, really flourishing, Spidey. So I love that for you. Hope that makes sense. So if anyone else is watching and you would like a card, just pop a comment in so I've got that connection. So that was nice. Be the cat or the kangaroo. You're already the bear. So, yep, so this month I have changed a few of the events that I'm doing. I will be doing some Awakening the Violet Flame Chakra course. I've literally moved it to the 17th, I think. The 17th and the week after, and then I think I moved it to the 10th and the 17th as a split course, and the 24th is an afternoon course. That's really beautiful. Thank you, Anchor. I love you. I love you too, Spidey. Although sometimes we don't always see eye to eye, but that's okay because I love you and you're still right, but I'm still right too. And because my galactic stuff, I know it's really weird, but that's my truth these days, which is a bit different. We're all on different journeys, aren't we? We're all going to get to the same place in the end. So, but my galactic stuff is what feels true, unfortunately. All that trauma and wounding I've made so much progress since I started to dig into that. So much progress, so much truth and stuff has come out, so much connection. Like me and Drago Reed, that connection is unbelievably strong and we can telepath into each other and stuff. It's really weird. I can like monitor his clones and weird shit. So yeah, so unfortunately my life is extremely weird, but I'm embracing it. You know, when you've always known that something was wrong, you've always known that something was off, but you could never quite put your thing on it. You could never quite, it's like, because I'm deaf now, I always knew something wasn't right physically, but I didn't know what it was. It was like I was expecting something to happen. So 15, 16 years ago, when I was pregnant with my son, I lost my hearing. And it was like I'd been waiting for something to happen. And it was there in my DNA. I have got otosclerosis. So when I had when I was, making baby, and you have all that calcium, and it just activated and quickened like a DNA thing that was, hereditary. So the inner ear doesn't move anymore, the little stapes bone, the fork bone doesn't move in my ears. So I came out of my pregnancy with such less hearing, and you're thinking, but my husband at the time was saying to me, well, if you can hear yourself, then you're not getting deaf, don't be silly. So I was totally gaslit for like 2 years, and then I eventually went and had the hearing test, and it showed, yeah, I'd lost like 70% of my hearing. So now I wear 2 hearing aids, and right now you guys are streamed directly into my hearing aids. So, which is good. So you're bossy but delicate catalyst to change the world. That sounds perfect. Yeah, that sounds amazing. So you've got that quiet stillness, but that fierce energy underneath it. So you make your moves in silence, but when you make that move, it's very powerful. And some people are going to be like, shocked by it, but it's going to be final. This is you, this is your sword and your chalice, and you're coming right in. This is me, balanced. Yeah. So it's not bossy, it's determined, it's focused. So I think you're female. So I used to work in construction for 10 years, and as a female in construction, there's 5% of us in the world, kind of thing, and they don't like it. They don't like females in construction because we're never going to express things in the same way as a man. We're never going to say things the same way. So even though the information might be the same, the delivery is different. And I used to get shot down all the time because of it. And then somebody else would take the exact thing that I was trying to express, but they'd say it in a different way, and then they'd get the acknowledgement and the praise. So it's really frustrating sometimes because I can't always express the way I want to, and that's it's a lot of us if you're on the spectrum, isn't it? You're never going to say, of course here now, with my tribe, everybody's on a similar wavelength, aren't we? But in the real world, in the mundane muggle world, so let's see. Okay, yeah, so we're moving into soul alignment, all of us. And it's things like this, it's the podcasts that are bringing that disclosure. So it's making sure that we're making those connections all the time. Yes, female, worked in construction, really? A fitter and a turner, oh, amazing. Only one female out of 1,000 men. Oh, that's so cool. I only worked in health and safety, environment, I did quality management, that kind of thing. But I did work on site on a nuclear processing plant. So I was on site for the last 6 years, so that was good. But I've done a bit of everything. Yeah, but I wouldn't be able to be a fitter and a turner. That's so cool. Puck Elf is a blacksmith. How cool is that? But he doesn't have any of his forging stuff. It's on another property that I can't get to. But he's shown me pictures of like things that he's created. Love that. How cool is that? So we're moving into soul alignment. This is one of the best cards in the whole deck. And this month, this August, is all about prosperity. And being grateful, of course, is the key. Being grateful for whatever it is. Like right now, I live with my son. He's nearly 16, so I'm trying to get him to go to the supermarket so that we can have some food. And today I think he's actually gone to the supermarket. I think I heard the front door go. He doesn't talk because he's a gamer. He's 16-year-old nearly in December, so he's very mean and moody, but I'm very grateful that I think he's gone to the supermarket and he's going to try and figure this out. Yeah, and he's been trying to do some cooking recently as well, so I'm very grateful for that. I generally have my sisters call on me for like 15 minutes a day, and they just come in like a whirlwind, and they sort out the kitchen and they bring me a meal and things like that, because I'm hopping around here. I can just about go to the bathroom. I obviously can't wash my hair, as you guys can see. I have these shower caps that I put on my hair that are wet, and I've been dealing with that, but I've only got another 17 days and I get this cast off. 17 more days. I feel very positive about it right now. So one thing that we do need to cancel out this month is any fear energy that's coming in, because the fear energy is stifling our abundance, and we're in the Shell refinery shutdowns were huge. Yeah. I had a friend, so the guy that I was living with when I was in Australia, he worked in the mines above Perth, so he would get flown into mines somehow. I don't know what that job was, but that's interesting. But then they'd do the big shift there, and then they'd fly to Bali. Now that's the kind of life that I want. If I've got to be here in the UK, can I have a break every now and then and fly to America? And so my 2026 is going to be all like that for me, flying in and out, hopefully. Once my son's in his last year of high school, so this coming September. And then he can go and stay with his dad. So I've already started to do a bit more travel now. So I've just come back from Glastonbury. In 2 weeks, no, in 9 days, I'm leaving my house, and I have to like bump down my stairs, and coming back I have to like crawl like a baby up my stairs, because I live upstairs, and I'm going on a sound healing course with my sister and a friend, and I'm doing gongs. I'm going to do gongs work, so I'm going to be live a few times hopefully to share the sound healing with you guys while I'm on this course. And my evening groups, my Wednesday evening groups, will be live. So when I'm away somewhere, I generally do updates rather than having guests on my podcast. I just come on. I have a group on Zoom, and we meet Monday, Wednesday and Saturday at 8 o'clock UK time, and it's like, originally these were just wellness groups where we do healing and stuff like that. Best tip for your hair is to stop using shampoo and only use conditioner. 100% you'll love it. It just takes maybe 3 weeks to get over the greasy stage. Yeah, that sounds great. I use, because I've got eczema all over, I generally use tea gel shampoo, but I ran out like 2 months ago. So I've been using a bit of dry shampoo, and I've been using these shower cap things. So I generally do a shower cap before I go live on a podcast. So you'll see my hair looks really light and shiny, and then now it's kind of the come down. I need to get it cut. I need it washed. Yeah. So yeah, this is the problem of being in a cast, because there's no comfortable position that I could get into to allow me to have a proper shower or to wash my hair, because this cast is the whole of my foot and my lower leg all the way up to my knee, so it's really tricky. It looks healthy. Thank you. There's natural oils coming in now. I used to have dreadlocks years ago. I miss them sometimes. So this month we're going to get asked to have a look at our karmic relationships, asking you to review the relationships around you that are fun and happy. These are lessons in receiving. Relationships around you that are more tricky, these are the boundary lessons, and we had that strengthening boundaries card come out before. So yeah, so you're going to be tested this month on your relationships, but it's an opportunity to just have a look at the support around you and spend more time with the people that make you feel light, make you feel happy. Yeah, because there's a big boundary situation coming in, and we're closing out loads of karmic contracts and things like that now. So when I do one-to-one readings with people and I use my pendulum is specially designed for Akashic record work. It comes from Pendulum Alchemy, and this pendulum has got the staff of Moses, and it has got the snake of the goddess Wadjet. So it's about miracles and magic. Yeah, and so I use this for Akashic record work, especially designed for that particular type of work. So when things come up in your timeline, I use my pendulum and quantum commands to release, to just clear that energy out of your Akashic books, and then I replace it with something positive. So can we please have a success anchor, please? That's going to help us with all these lessons. I'm getting a few different things coming in. Okay, yeah, it's that confidence, it's self-confidence has come back out. So this is all we need this month. This is all we need to move forward prosperous and really confidently. This is the card. It's come out twice now. So there is some lack and scarcity in the energetic field for the collective here. But just know that there's this new fresh growth that's coming in. August is all fresh start energy. So when I'm on the Typical Skeptic next Friday, I'm bringing in a heart harmonization energy for everybody. We're doing a course correction, me and Phil Barrow, the wizard. So we're going to move everybody into their highest timeline. So if you aren't already, that's the kind of intention that I've set for that session. So when people ask for a healing or a reading, we're going to be looking at how we can amplify their most positive energy. And I'll do the cards, and I'll call in my aspects and guides to really help you get back on track. So that's what I'm planning for the 8/8 portal, which is exciting. But yeah, so I'll still be able to do some pendulum work. I'm just not doing healing work for others right now while my body's going through this big healing process. But some of the healing that I've had recently from others has been absolutely amazing, and I generally know when my AnchorHaven tribe is sending me healing, I can feel it running up my leg, and when I'm healing myself, it runs down my leg. So that's really funny. All right, so I've been on for almost an hour. I could talk too much. So if anyone's got any questions or anything, pop them in the chat. I'm just going to do my Wawa tube. So I can do energy clear with my Wawa. This is 963, which is like the God source frequency. And so you just put your wow, 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 wow. So yeah, so this is, if you can hear that, can you hear that? It's so cool. The other thing that I've picked up recently when I was in Glastonbury is a steel drum. A tiny steel drum. Look at this. How cool is that? So because I was thinking I want to travel, but I still want to be a sound healer. Use the other one. Obviously I'm not very good at it. But the idea is there. There's a tiny steel drum, a little hand pan. So I got that when I was in Glastonbury, which I know is a bit silly. I picked up a couple of crystals when I was there as well. I am a crystal therapist, and I work with crystals a lot. I am basically a crystal. So I got a new crystal, and I was looking for a starberry, because every time I go to Glastonbury, I pick up a starberry quartz, so like a library of the stars, and every time I get it, I lose it. So I've got like 2 or 3 here somewhere. I've got them from the same crystal store, mostly crystals in Glastonbury, and I lose it every time. So I went to see the fella, I'm like, do you have the starberry quartz? And he's like, no. And I was like, what do you mean? You must have it. And he said, and right in front of me with this was a pile of Brazilian quartz points. And he said, there might be one in that pile. And I just kind of, my hand just went straight to a crystal, which is probably the most ugly crystal there. And but I looked at it, and there was so many Lemurian barcodes through the crystal. From every direction you could see Lemurian barcodes, and I just knew. I put it on my hand, and it was like it bit me. It was so powerful. I felt this kind of bite. And so I said, okay, this is it. Of course, I had no price on it, so it's definitely meant for me. And it was £17, which was within my budget. So I've got a new crystal. I'm pretty sure it's a starberry. So when we work with crystals like that, we can use the crystals to communicate and to unlock our memories, but also galactic. So I work as a galactic record keeper. So working with this crystal, it holds a lot of information, and I can tune into the oversoul of the crystal. So that quartz will allow me to access all of the quartz and things like that. So I love working with crystals. I do a lot of crystal therapy work. So I've been working on myself. So of course I put the crystal down my cast. I just kind of wedged it into my cast for a while, and thinking, oh no, if it gets stuck in my cast, I'll have to go to hospital and they'll be pulling crystals out of my cast. But it's a great crystal. So I don't buy crystals very often, because I used to have a crystal shop, so I obviously have a lot of crystals left over, because if a crystal didn't sell, then it was meant to be with me. So I've got random crystals in every room, nothing massive, because I love tumble stones. And I used to have probably about 300 different types of tumbles in stock at any one time. I think probably got about 80. Probably got about 80 left, because I teach crystals. So yeah, but I love crystals. So I did treat myself to that. And then recently I treated myself to an ayahuasca slice from Peru. So I've been working with this quite a lot. I've been healing myself with the ayahuasca, like the Pachamama kind of energy. So love that. All right, I'm going to leave you guys, because I think my son has come back from the supermarket with my Pepsi. I drink Pepsi Max. It's my only vice. It's my only vice. So, but I might be back on later. I'm trying to get organised. I'm not very organised. Soma Ara and I should be doing an online retreat day on the 31st of August. Now, I thought I'd already planned this out, and then last night on her group, she publicly said we may or may not be doing this retreat, and I'm like, oh God, I've already sent you a plan for it. So if we do the online retreat, then there will be maybe 6 hours. We'll be doing meditations. She'll be doing live channelings. So we'll do a morning and an afternoon channeling. I'll be channeling dragon energy, so connecting into Atlantean dragon energy and the Atlantean oversoul crystal that I have access to and things like that. Possibly dragon. I'll be working my dragon skulls, because you know I love my dragon skulls. And yeah, we'll see, but people will get live messages coming through from the Palladians. Soma likes to channel Master Jesus, and I personally love Merlin. I love to work with Master Merlin, so that's my thing. Yeah, so take care, you guys. Hope you're okay. What day is it today? It is Sunday, I think. And I'm hoping to go live with Michelle, Earth Grid Rescue Mission. I'm going to see if she wants to go live tonight, actually, and we can just have a general chat and open up our live chat. So I'll see. She's on Alabama time, so I think she might be 6 hours behind me. I'm not too sure, but I'm going to see if she wants to go live tonight, and then we can just have a fun chat and see what's going on in her world, because she did a great live last night with Mark, the pendulum guy, and I can't watch him that much because I use my pendulum for healing. This is a healing pendulum. I use my pendulum to make change in the world. I don't use my pendulum to judge if people are true or not, and that's the work that he does. He likes to judge people's truth, and I don't judge my pendulum. So I know that sounds a bit mean, but he's just not for me. He's a lovely man, but he's just not for me. When I see him judging people and their work with the pendulum, it makes me think, I'm not sure I like that. That's my truth. So yeah, not that, you know, he's not a nice guy, he's a nice guy. So so she's got a great video that she did last night. Sunday night. Okay, so if I come on, it'll be like dead early in the morning with Michelle Earthgrid for you. I always forget. So it's 1:18 here in the UK. I always forget. I need to find a good time in between American, UK, and Aussie time. So yeah, let me know what's a good time for you. All right, take care, everybody, and speak to you soon. Bye.